sorry. So I could just play that all for an hour and then give it all up. Okay, well, hello everybody. Welcome to Tom's Guitar Show. I'm Tom. They call me Guitar Tom because I'm often seen with a guitar, and they call me on the phone and they say, hey man, what's your show about? I say, well, it's about an hour. It's about guitar players, guitar playing, all things guitaristic. So occasionally a number might appear on your screen, but nobody ever calls anymore anyway, but you know, it's technically a call-in show. You want to talk about guitars, guitar playing, guitar players, or all things guitaristic. You know, how to play your guitar, what kind of guitar is right for you, the care and feeding of your guitar. Some related topic like the guitarron, or the sitar, the guitarra, the lutes, vihuelas, banjos, balalaikas, bouzouki's, bajos, sextos, tiples, cavaquinhos, you know, I don't know, ukuleles and banjolales and banjolins and bandoras and bandurias and trombones and trombomarinas and tubas and crumhorns, quartholes, cornetos, cornets, clavinets, clavinovas, clavichords, pipe organs, piccolos, accordions and ocarinas. Anything musical is fine. You want to talk about politics, world events, your own personality problems, or whatever. Yeah, we're here for you, but keep it clean. This is a family show. All right, well, so here we are again. Had a big shindig for classical guitar last week up at Uptown Bill's Coffee House, right above us right now. But right now, we have a nice little relaxing guitar show with this Breedlove. See, normally I make these little plans. I want to do a whole thing with a bunch of pedals, because I did this a few weeks ago and it didn't work out. This terrible humming sound. So I figure, you know, what with my commute back from Cedar Rapids, the college up there, I'm lucky to get here on time. I just have a nice, relaxing acoustic guitar sound. A little show where So Yeah, so I got a new cameraman, new volunteer here, Gerardo. Gerardo. Right, so, yeah, are you new to PATV? Are you?
Yes.
Okay.
New to Iowa City.
New to Iowa City. Okay. Well, welcome to PATV in Iowa City. So, you've suddenly been pressed into services. Now, I don't know if this show has been going on for about 21 years now, and Bob is usually the guy behind the camera, and he talks on the microphone. But Mr. Skopinski, who's the director, is on vacation for 3 weeks. So Bob is in the chair, and that leaves you. So he's the new Mr. Skopinski, and you're now the new Bob.
The new Bob.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess, you know.
Yeah, we can handle this.
It's all right. It's all right.
It's all right.
It's fine, yeah. But Bob has a little bit of humor, and he also knows everything, which helps a lot because he knows everything about what's ever important. Like he knows all about Elvis and things like that are important. But it's a music show, and Mr. Skopinski, of course, the director of the show, has a master's degree in composition, so he's a composer. And but he gave that up, and he's a nurse on the night shift at the psychiatric hospital. So that's a really good, handy thing to have on the show, also. So
yeah, you're dealing with behavioral health one way or another.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, music is great for that.
Well, also guitar players tend to be a little goofy, but
Goofy.
Yeah. I mean,
Not mental, just goofy.
I have a better opinion of you.
well, than I do of myself. That's our audience member,
I have a
Mr.
good opinion of you.
Mr. Livingood over there. But well, I don't cause any trouble. I've never been committed, but I'm committed to guitar playing and banjolin and mandolin and bandurria and mandolin and yeah, okay, cavaquinhos and anyway. So are you going toward getting your training and everything here now? Are you going through worship?
So this is my first shot at the camera. I got the training, so I'm hoping that I do good tonight.
Yeah, well, I tell you, it's a good show to start with. It's easy because I just stand around here and play guitar,
Yeah.
and then I talk to Bob, and that's all I ever do. I mean, once a month we do a show upstairs, but now the cameras are set. You know, they're permanently set. So up at the coffee house above us.
Yeah.
And but this show here is a good place to get your experience because it's extremely boring actually. So,
It sounds great.
but you stand for a while, you know. Well, I do different guitars, and one of the things we talk about at Bob is I keep buying guitars and getting different guitars. It's called GAS, Guitar Acquisition Syndrome. People who buy guitars. Now there are compulsions, you know. There are people who can't stop drinking alcohol. There's people who can't stop gambling, you know.
Addictions of sorts.
There's all kinds of them. But, so mine is simply guitars and related things. Now last week I didn't buy any guitars at all, but I did buy a banjo. It was
So it's maybe more related to string instruments.
fretted instruments, this with strings. Yeah. I have a string bass and a cello and a violin. They don't have frets. And I also have a bass guitar with no frets. But basically everything else I have is frets. I really can't. Like if you hand me a clarinet, I can squeak on a little bit, but I'm not your man. You know, if you want to hire a clarinet player, but I'm more of a fret guy. So anyway. Anyway, what are we doing? I've never done this in drop D. little guitar music. I'm I'm doing the steel string guitar again. I don't know what it is. Well, we're talking about my compulsions. You see, it's fairly innocent, but so for pretty much the whole summer, with my little gigs and so forth, I was doing the classical guitar, nylon string, you know, for Spanish guitar, bossa nova's classical music, soft strings. And then I got this compulsion to go to steel string again. I don't know why. And then before the classical guitar epoch, I was doing solid body electric guitars a lot, but I was playing jazz on them. But see, before that, I was doing the hollow body guitars, but that descended into Stratocasters and things, you see, so Telecasters. So anyway, they're all, I mean, I wouldn't say I like all guitars. I was up at Coe College up there in Cedar Rapids today, and I had a break in my activities, so I went next door to the pawn shop. And I didn't see any guitars that I liked there, which is good, because I didn't have to buy anything. No guitars, no amps. There was a really interesting banjolin, the banjo mandolin, really old one, but they wanted like $600 for it. And yeah, I have one already. It's been in the shop for months. If the guy gets around to rebuilding it for me, it'll be very expensive, but probably from the 1920s. But yeah, so I don't like all guitars. Pretty much like all my guitars, but anyway. So something was going on here. Like, it should be a lot louder. There's something wrong with the. So something's wrong with my guitar, or my amp,
Or one of your cables.
or one of my cables, yeah, or my little pedal. Because it's louder, but it was,
Louder now,
yeah, it was softer. Still not quite what it was. Not as much the same. There's a battery in the guitar, which may be dying. That could be it. I've never replaced a battery in a Breedlove before, but I hope that's what it is, because for $1.50 I can have a new 9-volt battery, even for $1, or maybe I should get a good one for $2. You know,
Yeah,
and that's
stay
spare.
away from Dollar Tree.
Yeah, don't get a Dollar Tree 9-volt battery. I should probably get
Those don't last long.
I should at least get a Hy-Vee one, if not the copper top, or anyway. But I'm hoping that's what it is. Of course, that's going to make this. The show's not even halfway over, and yeah, it comes and goes. Now it's loud again. I don't know. Why do I have to? doing it again. Huh. It's plugged in. I wonder if it's a battery.
Could be. You could test it. Take it out and then
Yeah.
do the old school testing.
Yeah.
Put it against your tongue, see what hurts. Feel the shock.
Well, all right. Yeah, okay. Let's see what we'll do. I've never taken the battery out of a Breedlove before, but I don't think it should be that hard. I think I have to loosen the strings and everything, climb around inside. Well, while I'm at it, so you have media aspirations, ambitions?
I did radio for a while, so I just thought to do something. My wife's a professor at the university, and
I see.
I'm new here, so I figured I could volunteer and do something with some of my experience,
Oh, yeah.
background.
We were doing like an internet radio station thing for here for a while. There weren't enough people to really make it happen. But yeah, you can have your own show too if you want.
Yeah,
Let me have one. I mean,
I have one. We could double up and make sure it's all covered and people that we.
well, the thing about volunteering here is you get the experience, but you also start to make connections with other people, so you can get a crew together. And so excuse me, one of the things I do here is provide, a place for people to volunteer and get their experience. So,
Yeah, I appreciate it, sure.
yeah, it's helpful, but for me too.
First time you changed the battery in that?
I've only had this guitar for a very short time. I hope that's Velcro. It says,
Sounds like very nice. Change something else.
well, I think I'm doing the Velcro, and I think, well, I took something off there. I opened it up, so, oh, I see. So it's just attached to a wire. I like to just play guitar, and normally I just play guitar and talk to Bob. See, so I say now you're the new Bob, but still. Not to listen anymore. Strings hate it when you take all the tension off. It kills them.
They don't feel normal.
Yeah. So I just need more room to work around with my hand. Probably going to growl on the floor in a minute. So you just came to town. Where'd you come from last? Where are you?
Santa Cruz, California.
Oh yeah, I've been there. Yellow slugs.
Yes.
Lots of yellow slugs.
The banana slugs at the university.
Yeah.
That's the mascot.
Yeah. That's the mascot?
Yeah.
The official one or the
The
Anna?
official mascot.
Ah, that's good. I did something at the college there, the university, but mostly I slept on somebody's porch up in the hills somewhere. In the,
Like redwoods.
yeah, in the cabin and stuff. And, yeah. It's a nice place. It's. I guess there'd be a case to be saying it's nicer than Iowa City even. But, yeah.
It's nice. It's up there. It's coastal, redwoods.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Northern California.
Yeah. Maybe this is Velcroed in here too. Either I'm just turning up my guitar. That is Velcro. Okay, I'm getting somewhere now.
There you go.
It's a Railvac Pro. Okay. Oops, I'm going to want that in a minute. That feels pretty hot.
Uh-oh.
Of course, you can't really tell necessarily. All right.
Is there any other way you can test it?
I don't know. We might have a battery tester in the next room. I don't know if I could leave my show. Last time I had to do this, I had Bob come up here. I mean,
Stay put, no.
You want to take over, Prophet?
I'll take a look for you and find a 9-volt battery for you.
Or tester. They usually have I have them in my trunk. I could tell some jokes.
Yeah.
How many guitar players does it take to screw in a light bulb? 101. One to actually screw it in, and 100 more to stand around saying, "Oh, I can do that." How many banjo players does it take to have a? Is that a new? Oh,
To
wow.
the rescue, there's a new one.
Is that a new one or no? Fairly.
Stuck his tongue on it and got a shock.
Well, we'll try this one then.
Have him.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to grovel on the floor. It'd be easier if I just sat down here and did it. So, this is the way a lot of us prepare our guitars anyway. Okay.
Yeah, you can see what you're doing now.
Yeah, I can.
Earlier you were just fitting the guitar.
Well, I figured out how this thing works, so. Okay. Velcro in here somewhere. Okay. All right, I'll. Are we having fun yet?
Yeah. What do you take on the guitar show? There are certain guitars that are played
Your lap?
on their lap, yeah.
Yeah, Weisenborn and lap steel Hawaiian guitar. Dobro, because you strap those on. The other thing is I thought I was going to have a nice, relaxing, easy show. The other thing was when I went to work today, I looked for my tuning fork in my pocket and it wasn't there. But my guitar was in tune when I left the house. I suppose I could make a call upstairs to Uptown Bill's and say somebody to play a couple A's really loud on the piano. I think that's an A. Anyway, I didn't say it. Yeah. I almost swore in Italian. I Well, I have options now. See, I could send somebody a runner to the guitar shop that's only about 2 blocks away and get me another string temporarily. I don't think I have any with me in my car. Or have them sending me a guitar. I could stand here and tell jokes. I could play an out of tune 5-string guitar with the G string missing, which makes it more difficult. sounds fine. Hey, Prophet, you want to do me another favor, bigger one than usual?
Such as?
Just go get me another string at the guitar shop that's right over on Gilbert Street. I'll give you money.
Are you sure they're open this time of the night?
They're open till 8. I'd call them on the phone if I knew their number.
Okay, hold on a second.
I'm,
Texting over here. We're multitasking over here.
it's very simply, I need a G string.
G string.
Yeah, it's like less than $3, I'm sure. Here, I'll give you 4 just in case. A G string for like a steel string guitar.
In the plaza.
Yeah, the Kennedy Plaza, right in the middle of the Kennedy Plaza by Gumby's, but right in the absolute dead center is a guitar.
As quick as possible for.
Yeah, and if they have any problem, they can call PATV, but a G string for a acoustic guitar.
G string acoustic guitar.
Yeah, yeah.
Simple enough to remember.
Yeah, yeah. And we get it done by the... I'm just going to sit here and play guitar today. That was my plan, because... And then...
Tunes without the G string.
I can tune the rest of the guitar, but... There we go.
You know, Keith Richards says all you need is 5 strings, 2 fingers, and then another part of the anatomy that everyone has.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. But, which I can tell you something about Elvis, but not on this show. But he actually took off a different string. See, mine's kind of like in the middle. If you take one off at one of the other ends, it's easier to play. But if you
It's
had,
off the lower E string.
yeah, yeah. So, I have issues, man. But the thing that I heard about Elvis from one of his sidemen, the guitar player, was that once Elvis started to get popular, these young girls would scream so loudly that they couldn't hear themselves, each other, at all. And so it was the only band in history to, the first band in history to be directed by somebody's posterior, because Elvis would move quite a bit when he sang, you know. And so they would, the only way they keep the band together was by watching Elvis's back, lower back, much lower back, you know. He didn't say it quite that way, but this is, never mind. So, yeah, they, I usually have tools and people say, how are you doing? And the response often is, well, I can't complain. And I can complain, but it doesn't do a whole lot of good, so. Just remind me to pick that up later. Well, what do you play without a G string? Here, but playing G string is kind of weird because do the rest stroke alternation, the picado. It's a long way to go.
Supposedly Dick Dale wrote Miserlou after betting somebody he could play a whole song on one string.
Oh yeah. Well, you can. I kind of like to use all the strings, you know, but.
Well, while we're stopped, maybe you should mention where you'll be this weekend.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I'll be at the Tuscan Moon in beautiful downtown Kelowna, Iowa, about 20 miles or less south of here. And I'm supposed to start at 6, so I'll probably get there about 6:30, being a guitar player, you know. And I'm supposed to play till 9. I'll play till about 10, and then or 9:30 if it's slow. But you might get reservations because it's actually been pretty busy lately. So I'll be, yeah. And I won't be talking like this or anything like that. I'll be playing theater music for those. And so, yeah, I'll be Tuscan Moon, Kelowna. Just go south. You can drive down the Highway 1, and you'll end up there. Or you can do what I prefer, which is to go down Highway 218, which is a 4-lane highway. Less picturesque, but let's face it, the sun goes down so early, what are you going to see anyway? So you go on Highway 218, so you get to Highway 22 in the village of Riverside, a small city, which is the future birthplace of Captain Kirk of Star Trek. Captain Kirk will be born in Riverside.
He will be in the future.
In the future, yeah. That's their.
Hasn't happened yet.
It has no. It'll be a while.
Kelowna, you gonna be?
I'll be in Kelowna.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've been there. It's nice.
Yeah. It's nice, and there's a thing about Kelowna is you don't have to worry about crime in the streets or anything like that. It's very, very, very docile,
Yeah, very small.
and you have to watch your step because of the horses, the Amish people. But
Yeah, I saw the carriages and the horses and
yeah,
nice brewery too.
yeah, they have the brewery. But I'm at the Tuscan Moon, which is around the corner from the brewery, and it's like an Italian steakhouse. But the there's a joke about the somebody who parks a car in Kelowna and they don't lock it when they get back. There's a zucchini squash in the front seat. Because of course, you know, here in the zucchini season, you know, people are always trying to get rid of their
Get rid of their
yeah.
extra food.
No, they have we have zucchini bread and zucchini this and zucchini you know, au gratin or whatever, and like after a while you just don't want to eat any more zucchini, you know. It's kind of nice for a while, but you know, so anyway. There's usually a banjo player joke about the guy, a banjo player who left his banjo in the front seat of his car, locked his car, went in for a sandwich. When he came back out again, the window was broken and there were 2 banjos in there. See, but
What happened to the zucchini?
that's not in Kelowna. That's not a Kelowna joke. So, I think banjo jokes are usually things like, you know, like what's the difference between a banjo and a trampoline? You take your boots off when you jump on a trampoline, you know, and things like like the difference between a banjo and an onion. That people don't cry when they chop up a banjo. Things like that. It's terrible things like that. My favorite, though, of course, is the one that Bob helped me with, which is what did the banjo player get on his IQ test?
What do you get?
Barbecue sauce. I love that one. It's just about right. Here comes Prophet. Ah, wow. Yeah.
He asked me what gauge of guitar wire he wanted, and I told him, Tom didn't tell me.
Yeah, we are.
He gave me 2 gauges. He says he knows you and you're a good customer.
Oh, yeah.
There's your change, there's your receipt. Stand by, folks, while Tom repairs the technical difficulties.
So I'll take one back, probably. I think I'm going to go for the 80-20 bronze. That's what I wanted.
You didn't tell me that.
Oh, that's fine. You got me 80-20. That's great.
Okay.
I'll 24-26, man. What do I want? I'll go for the 24. If I don't like it, I'll put on the 26. Thanks, Prophet.
You're welcome.
You saved my show for this. I had to pick up all my dead
Tell me a
strings.
beer and a pizza.
All right, well, here we go. I can get you the pizza at Gumby's. I don't know about the beer. This is an alcohol-free building here.
That came into effect because someone brought alcohol in here years ago. I don't remember who it was.
I remember all about it, but
Can't discuss it. for sure.
yeah. Well, I don't really want to talk about it on a family show, but
Good policy.
this is not. This is not really the kind of place, you know, for. This is a place to make television programs. And I suppose we could have a radio program too if you wanted. I've always wanted to have my own radio show.
Let's do it.
My kind of show, you know. Well, you already know what I'm interested in, so play records and okay. Oh, there we go. I can't see.
Is it easy or difficult to get a FCC license for a radio station?
Well, it's not that easy, but they got one upstairs. They have an FCC. They have a license. They're trying to make upstairs.
Have they accomplished their goal yet?
They've accomplished several goals. They don't have a radio station yet, but they
They got the permit for...
they got the permit and stuff like that. I'm not sure where it stands. I'm sort of
A work in progress?
yeah. I'm on the periphery of that. I'm not part of the team there. I'm part of the PATV team, but they are Uptown Bill's Coffee Houses are the tenant of PATV, and
They've been in for how many years now? 3 or
more than 3. Forget more like 5 or 6 or something like that. I'm
Employees.
yeah. I think we got my guitar fixed. You know, I could have had, I have a little emergency bag in my car. I don't think I have any guitar strings in there though. I think I had a battery in there. So what I should do is to put different kinds of guitar strings, because as you know, I'm telling you the boring story of my life, but I have other sorts of guitars that I get into playing. So I have like the jazz guitars, and these steel string guitars, classical guitars, Allen string. It sounds great, doesn't it? All right, I think I'm all right now. So. Hey, that nice string?
Sounds good.
Yeah. Guitar's not fading. Was a guy at the guitar shop, do you have like a ponytail and glasses? About 40-year-old?
About right.
Yeah, Seth. Yeah, he's.
Says you're a regular customer.
Oh yeah, there's a Tom Waits song about how the bartenders all know my name. Guitar shops, music stores. That string sounds better than the other ones. It's a Bob Dylan song, of all things. Oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate that string. It makes my life so much better to have
You're welcome.
an intact string. Yeah, thank you. Anyway, I'll take a wire cutters to it later, but make it through the show. I was thinking about that. Like, so I was playing the gig the other night, and I was doing covers and stuff, and I generally do a lot of like bossa nova and flamenco rumba and stuff like that. Then I do jazz standards and stuff. But I did Wild Horses by the Rolling Stones. There's a guy there. He's an engineer and everything, but he looks a little rough around the edges. And I think he has a Harley, and he's married to a woman who's actually an elementary school teacher from Hills, Iowa, or in Hills, Iowa, and played Rolling Stones. And then all of a sudden he liked me a lot. He's been going there for years, and I've been there for years. And so I started thinking about that, you know. So I was thinking, you know, I have been learning all these songs from like the 1920s, 30s, 40s standards, you know, jazz standards. Irving Berlin, you know, and sort of like between 1920 something and 1950 something, these kind of torch songs and so forth. Is you have that as time goes by, you know. Must remember this, you know, stuff like that, and the autumn leaves. You know, stuff like that, you know, and like I do when you, Irving Berlin, 1920s. But, so some people respond to some stuff in the 60s. There's like Petula Clark. Downtown, anyway. But then today I was working on this because I had a little break in so I took this, took sheet music because, you know, I am literate. I was like, Angie by the Rolling Stones. And then that led me to think like, I actually did this one last night. Like, CCR, Down in the Corner. Creedence Clearwater Revival, because the people who go to restaurants to have a steak and a nice bottle of wine with a white tablecloth aren't people who are listening to jazz standards from the 1930s. They're people who grew up, well, not to put too fine a point on it, they used to be hippies. So I you know. So anyway, so I've embarked on a new career of playing. Well, see, I've changed things. I can't do the same thing over and over again because I have to do things differently. Because I have to live my life, and and someday I'll be dead, and so I have to. While I'm here, in life, I should live, and so by playing different guitars and different kinds of music for people, because it's not as much fun if you don't play it for somebody else. I mean, you play to make people happy, make people feel something. So now I'm playing steel string guitar instead of a classical guitar, or a big fat hollow body jazz guitar.